when did you learn photography?
I learned it when I was 13, but that was when I was just starting out photography, so I didn't know anything at all. When I first got my new camera, I threw away the manual and I just pressed buttons and I just figured it out myself.
So that was just about the camera you're using, but how about the photography itself? Because like there's a lot of stuff that you have to learn about photography, such as like lighting or other stuff. So how do you learn that?
Oh, I don't think I learned it. I think I just knew. It just came obvious to me that like I needed good lighting for a good photo and different angles to create an effect. I think it was just ingrained in my brain.
Oh, so is there any family member that doing photography like you do?
No, there's not. Yeah.
Okay. So people do many styles of photography, such as like wedding photography, baby, or macro photography. What is it about pet photography that made you decide to pursue it?
It was because I had my one dog, Chuppy, that passed away. I loved dogs from the beginning, and the fact that I could take pictures of them and it could last for a long time, it made me want to do pet photography. And I wasn't always social. I was very much of an introvert, so that's why animals were much better than people at that time.
Looking at all of your photos, how do you dress your pets? Like, how do you put stuff or props on them? Because like I used to have two dogs, but it's like impossible. Like, it's just an impossible task.
Well, for Chuppy, it kind of took a lot of time, but when he grew older, he started to get more patient with me. But for the like falling effects and things like that, usually I did it myself, and I would take one hand and I would hold my camera, and then I'd throw stuff with this hand, and then I'd be holding a ball with this one on my pinky, and I was kind of like multitasking. It was kind of interesting if you saw me, but that's how I did it. And because I prefer someone not helping me, because sometimes they cause a distraction for the dog. So it's just better if the dog is in front of me and I'm interacting with the dog.
Was it difficult for you in the first place, or is it still difficult now?
I think it's getting easier now, but the difficult thing is making my ideas, because I have a book of ideas but the thing is that I don't know how to set up the ideas. So I think the setup is harder than actually taking the picture.
So how long do you usually have to plan a shooting in advance?
Usually I plan it a few days beforehand, so I have enough time to purchase props or set up and get an idea in my head.
So what's been the hardest shooting you've ever done?
Let's see. The hardest shoot has got to be when I was shooting for a shelter, and it was for a Chihuahua. It was, because usually smaller dogs are harder for me because they squirm around and they run around a lot. So that one was definitely difficult, on like the top 10. Number 1, I believe.
So how did you actually keep them to stay still?
I had lots of treats, and lots of treats. I have treats in one hand and a squeaky ball in the other hand.
So what's the most challenging part about pet photography?
I think the challenging part is trying to make people believe that it is a photography, that it's not just people doing it just as like a hobby, that kind of thing, that pet photography can actually be a form of art if you try to make it into something bigger.
And what do you love the most about taking pictures of your pets?
I love that I could get different expressions from them, and I love that people can relate to my photos, because I found it pretty amazing when Chuppy, when he passed away, that people actually took the time and related to each photo, and they were actually feeling sad that he passed away too. So I feel that everyone believed that he was part of their family as well.
I happen to see you are doing a project called Let It Rain Love. So tell me a little bit about that project.
Let It Rain Love was inspired by my dog Daisy that was rescued, and it creates the concept that each dog behind the cage is actually a heart, And that's why I'm creating a film called Caged Hearts, part of Let It Rain Love. And the objective is for people to realize that the dogs in animal shelters, they're not just thrown away, that they are actually like works of art that are just caged behind, and they just need someone to shower them with love. So, yeah.
So how many dogs do you have right now?
I have 3 dogs. I have I have Daisy, the mixed breed and adopted one, and I have the Shiba Inu, Aiko, and then I have Cody, the newest one, and he's the puppy.
How long do you plan to do this pet photography?
I plan to do it until I can't hold a camera anymore. So until my hands stop on me.
Would you try another style of photography?
Like baby photography, that kind of thing?
Baby photography or any other kind, or scenery and stuff. Are you gonna try that?
I've done baby photography before. It was actually easier than dogs, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they just like lay there and don't run around.
And when they cry, it's cute too. So people like that. But I don't know about. I might do people too or fashion sometime. But I think that pet photography seems to be the most fun out of all of them.
Yeah. So do you take any classes of photography now? Like any?
I took one class in high school. It was like 3 years ago, but I did not like that class at all.
Why? Why not?
Because I felt constrained that I had to do certain assignments and I couldn't be creative with anything.
For those who merely just love taking pictures of their pets, not necessarily just pet photography, what would be your tips for them?
When people ask me that, the number one thing I give them is to find their own style, because that's what makes them different from every other photographer. Because if they just need to keep taking photos, and that way they'll be able to develop their own style. And I think style is the most important thing in photography, because style is things such as how you edit the photo and how you approach the photo. So that way, when you have your own style, people can differentiate you between different works made by other people. So make your own style.